The Straigh Talk live from Askanwi, Gambia, but more FM, right here in West Coast Radio, the radio station that we air Straigh Talk Show. Flex down, and today we have so many programs for you to listen that we have to discuss with our followers today. West Coast Radio, 95.3 FM, and we are also streaming live on Askanwi Gambia YouTube page. Follow at Askanwi Gambia, the YouTube page. Subscribe if you are watching this, and you can follow us from anywhere across the globe. That's what we want to do, so people can see. I have to tell you about the Askanwi Media, which we are launching, set to launch this week. Askanwi stands for the people, obviously in Wolof, and this is an innovative new media platform designed to provide the Gambian public with relevant, comprehensive, objective, and citizen-focused news. Our motto is pioneering citizen journalism for national interest. Keep an eye out soon for our video looking into national interest and what it means to some of the most well-known Gambians in the country. What does national interest mean to them? And in today, we have so many topics to discuss. I'll give you a rundown of what you have in store for us, what we have in store for you on today's program. So many things happening. The most important thing, something which we always follow, people who know us, is the draft constitution. There's some breaking news about the draft constitution that's just come out. We're going to read out the full officials, ministers, high-level ministers hold talks to resolve cross-border trade disputes. They released a press release on that. I've written an article for Pan-African Network for African Artistic Freedom. Discuss about their social conscious music that they're putting out through advocacy, as well as the empowerment, financial empowerment that their artistic ventures bring, the shows, the things that it brings, and other things are also in this article. We published this article with Salam, and we will be just touching it slightly so people can have an interest in it and go and check it out. Not only that, we have so many. One of the bomb strategic policy document on the 200,000 houses, which should be built within 10 years, will be issued by April 2025. And the foundation stone will be laid by December 2025. We have his voice. We were at the coverage today where he made that declaration, and we will play the insert. His campaign already starting for 2026. Who knows? The Police Act is set to be reviewed by Gambian civil society organizations. And we have an insert. We'll play that so people will listen. And last week, we were talking about one jungler in the US, Michael Correa, who is set to face trial. We will talk about another jungler who has been arrested for you in today. And also, we will be talking to Honorable Momodu Lamin Bah of Banjul North, who is set for a constituency dialogue tomorrow. But before we jump into the constituency dialogue, we will talk to him about his advocacy. I'm sure some of you listening on West Coast Radio, you've been updated about the issue of Banjul North. Every time it rains, they have this problem of, floods, the problems of different issues that affects them. And it's rearing its ugly head again. That's all. We have a lot, 7 different things to cover today. I hope we have enough time to do that. But where else will we start besides the draft constitution? And this is the press release from the Ministry of Information. Very busy. They've also been very, very busy, of course. And this is what the press release dated today, 14th August, is saying. The Gambia government wishes to inform the general public that it has considered and reviewed the draft constitution that was presented by the Constitutional Deliberation to re-gazette the constitution for eventual tabling before the National Assembly. The draft will initially be gazetted from today for a period of 3 months and subsequently for another 10 days as required under this 1997 Constitution. The draft as it currently stands reflects our national values and ethos and is consistent with the existence of the Gambia as a sovereign independent republican state with a multi-party democracy premised on democratic principles with periodic elections based on universal adult suffrage. The draft also, in accordance with our established beliefs and values, recognizes and acknowledges fundamental human rights and freedoms for all Gambians and non-Gambians alike. For the first time in the history of our constitutional development, the draft introduces term limits for persons serving in the office of president and the mechanism of justice and accountability for atrocious crimes. The draft is available to the public at the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, as well as on the website of the Ministry of Information. The Gambia government will keep the public apprised of the status of the draft as it progresses. Very, very important press release which states, I will highlight the important point here. The draft is available to the public at the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation, as well as the website of the Ministry of Information. Download it, check it out, test it. If you are listening to me, can you get it at the Ministry of Information? But what we must highlight that this is a story which we've been following. And as we know, we've published a story that this draft was supposed to have been gazetted some months back, but it has not happened. So finally now it has happened, and we've seen the press release statement has come out. It'll be interesting when I call Honorable Modu Lamin Bah for his segment. I will ask him what he thinks about this draft constitution. And anybody who calls, the number to dial is 504-7877, 504-7877. Let me know what you think about the draft constitution. ñëpp ñu nekk di déglu government bi génn na statement di wax ne constitution bu ees gazette neen ko. Gazette dafa important torop ndik lan bokk na ci stages yoo so fu mu nekk ni gazette neen ko te lu ci gën a important mu ne government bi dafa ne document boobu soo demee ci GPPC bu nekk ci bori Jimpex Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation wala nga dem ci internet bi Ministry of Information seen website bi di nga ko fa mën a am. Loolu lu miin mooy ne yow citizen bi doomi Gambian bi ku nekkul doomi Gambian sax mun nga koo dem nga check ko. Loolu nekk lu am solo torop. Anybody listening, welcome again. You are tuned into West Coast Radio 95.3 FM and live on Askan We Gambia YouTube page. I'm your host, Yusuf Taylor, alias show where we always talk straight, the show where we try to make sure we get it right the first time. And in today's program, we have so much to talk about. There's nothing more important than talk, which has been taking place, and we've seen a press release has come out. Yes, there are trucks, even though ECOWAS says free trade between Gambia or ECOWAS countries, there are still trucks outside the Gambia-Senegal border, stopped to go in one way and the other. Now, what has the Gambia and Senegal authorities agreed? After all the dialogue and discussion, what have they agreed? We have their statement and we will highlight it. Key agreements reached to resolve border tensions between the Gambia and Senegal. And this is what the Gambia government is saying, what they wanted to share the progress made so far. Fees for the electronic tracker remains in force. Payment remains the same and all trucks in transit through Gambia are expected to pay. Senegal to implement the electronic tracking system as well and later explore possibilities of harmonizing fees with Gambia. The 350 trucks currently stranded at both ends of the border to be allowed to pass without payment as a goodwill gesture from the president to ease the tension at the border. Gambia to send a list of goods that are exempted from payment of duty to the Senegalese authorities. Gambian vehicles entering Senegal has been increased from 10 days to 30 days at a cost of 5,000 CFA. The period for the laissez-passer, passavant, for Gambian vehicles entering Senegal has been increased from 10 days to 30 days at a cost of 5,000 CFA, with allowance for renewal for 15 days for 10,000 CFA. In addition, all Senegalese vehicles entering Gambia will also be issued a 30-day laissez-passer at a cost of 5,000 CFA and renewable for another 15 days at a cost of 15,000 CFA. The laissez-passer for vehicles entering Gambia and passavant for vehicles entering Senegal does not apply for trucks in transit. Senegalese trucks in transit will only pay electronic tracking service fee, nothing else. Gambian trucks in transit to Bissau, Mali, and Conakry using the Senegalese corridor will only be charged for escort fees and nothing else. The ferry crossing charges for Senegal's Dakar, Dem, Dik, and Gambia's GTSC buses has been restored back to its original price of 63,000 CFA. 63,000 CFA. I hope that number is correct. That's a lot of it. Finally, all vehicles, both Gambian and Senegalese, using the bridge have the option to pay in both currencies, Dalasis or CFA, at a fixed rate to be published weekly. Goods bought from Senegal for Gambia shall be imposed on goods valued at 500,000 CFA or above. They're my Gambian and Senegalese people. You see, the Gambia-Senegal border issue is not only an issue for the Gambia. It's an issue for the greater ECOWAS region. Why? Because for you to get through to some of these other countries, Bissau, all these other countries, Mali, all these other countries within the West African region, you need to pass through this corridor. This is one of the corridors that they use. And that the fact is that this border is supposed to act as a West African corridor, an ECOWAS corridor, and boost trade amongst the whole of West Africa. But as we've seen how it's going, it seems like both authorities, the Gambia and Senegal, and of course Senegal, we must highlight, have been very aggressive with their, stopping our vehicles from entering into their territory. You see? So it works both ways. Now, this is what the press release is saying, that it will be a two-way agreement that will benefit both of us, both countries. And that brings us to our third discussion point. But before we do that, once again, for all of those who are tuned in to West Coast Radio 95.3 FM, this is the Straigh Talk Show. Those of us watching us on Ask and We Gambia YouTube page, you are tuned into the Straigh Talk Show. I'm your host, Yusef Taylor, alias Flextan. And I think it's important. I like to use a bit of local language. I'm not solo torop pour ma wax li ci wolof wala at some local language at least. Gambia ak Senegal sun ñaari authorities yi tok neen di waxtaan di xool naka la ñoo mën a address lu ñu oo tension bu nekk ci border bi. Bagage yu bugg a duga, van yu bugg a duga, jaay jënda jaay. So am neen fu mu nekk nii tension moo amoon waaye waxtaan neen. Authorities yi Gambie, authorities yi Sénégal ñëw neen ñu waxtaan ñu bari soo nekkee social media di nga ko gis am naa soo demee si news bi tamit di nga ko déglu waaye fu mu nekk nii d'accord neen am neen benn agreement boo xamee ne dina mun a dem kanam loolu lan la den d'accord ne 350 trucks yi yu nekk si border bi dinañ leen bàyyi ñu jaala loolu d'accord nañ si ñu ne lan laissez-passer passe-avant pour Gambian vehicles yi di dugg Sénégal dinañ ko yokka from 10 days to 30 days waaye dina cost 5,000 CFA te loolu mun nga ko yokka to another 15 days for 10,000 CFA so loolu la gaay d'accord am nañ te loolu du Gambia rek Senegalese vehicles yi di dugg biir Gambia tamit ñoom itam same thing waaw am nañ it yu bari yu fi gaay Dakar ñu ne ferry crossing pour cross ferry bi for Senegal's Dakar dem Dik and Gambia GTSC buses loolu den make sure ne ñu delloo ko si price bu mu nekkoon mooy lan 63,000 CFA loolu la fi gaay binda xaw ma ndax number boobu noonu mu ngi correct bari na sax so xaw ma anyways loolu moo nekk lu si gën a important li nekk loo xam ne Gambia ak Sénégal suñ authorities yi trade ak ñoom gis naa minister of information bi foofu noonu gis naa GRA commissioner Yanks Darboe foofu noonu si nataal yi ñoom doon toog di waxtaan ak Senegalese authorities yi pour xool naka la ñu address issue bii nii dina leen ne dinañ ubbi lines yi du yàgga ñu ubbi waat lines yi ne leen number to dial 504 7877 504 7877 leen dugal si beneen topic bi we move now on to the next topic. The next topic is an article which I've written for PANAF. PANAF is who? It's the Pan-African Network for Artistic Freedom, a network of some 8 different countries. Gambia bokk na si team Gom Sa Boppa bokk na si ñoom ñoo nekk di coordinator moo nekk spokesperson ni team Gom Sa Boppa bindal naa leen benn article du gaay di wax affaire yi the tide of socially conscious and economically empowered artists in the Gambia loolu mean artistes yoo xamee ne ñu ngi xool seen music seen spoken word lu gaay di def dafa nekk di gestu métiti askan bi wala askan bi lu nekk di go through seen tolof waaw amut foofu artistes yi tamit su gaay amee show dañ dee make sure ne show boobu noonu daf dee employ ñu bari te shows yooyu noonu tamit dafa am solo dik lan foofu la gaay dee mun a showcase seen talent foofu la gaay dee mun a make sure ne economic empowerment daf si bokka because of stage bi nañ ñëw foofu noonu ñu make sure ñu def stage waaye loolu rek nekkut wax yi am na yu bari yoo xam ne mu ngi si biir article bi encourage naa leen ngeen dem panaf.org soo leen demee panaf.org di ngeen ko gis wala soo leen demee askan wi on Facebook di ngeen ko gis post nañ article boobu noonu boo xam ne mu ngi feature kan Awa Bling Gambian artist la female artist la si hip hop scene bi advocate la te not advocate against SGBV and FGMC yëpp feature nañ ko si article bi moom mu ngi fa as one of the artists Killa Ace moom ñëpp xam nañ ko su ñëwee si taxawali Gambians yi make sure ne askan bi xam neen seen rights ba pare du loolu rek daf day advocate lu bari obviously the Cypher bokk na si one of the main initiatives boo xamee ne Gom Sa Boppa bokk nañ si te amut foofu noonu last year ñu doon taxaw di tolof di protest mbiri nawek tarif bu gaa yokka waaw loolu benn tey ñu ngi ko gis taxut ne courant mu ngi stable amul si foofu dem leen si benn spoken word artist ku tudda Omar Champion Cham ñu bari ñu ko xam dina xam ne moom moo nekk di speaker of the national youth waxal youth si position boobu noonu leen laa jox moom already advocate la champion la si advocate santam bi sa turam sa wax na ko defoon na fi benn show bu am solo spoken word show entertainment show comedy artistes yi yëpp ñëwoon neen fa mu nekk show boo xam ne was a very good sellout show te amut foofu nekkul ne mu ngi toppa loolu rek si NYP speaker taxaw na tamit ferry bi boo xam ne time bi ferry bi nekkoon problème fi ni Gambia Omar Champion Cham bokkoon na si artiste si spoken word poet boo xam ne taxawoon na pour Gambian si bañ ko arrest release nañ ko ben tey right now his release so article bi dugg na si yooyu noonu yëpp dañ di waxtaan mbiri naka lañ dee balancer this advocacy ak seen economic sustainability loolu am na solo trop ngeen mun a dem si sun pan African network for artistic freedom ngeen mun a read article boobu noonu am na solo trop di ngeen ko mun a read ngeen mun a gis Gambians yi seen arts seen music bi nag lan la nekk di njëriñal Gambians yi nekkut ne just pour ñu am seen xaalis nekkut just ñu wax def music bu xam ne pour feature rek boobu tamit am na solo wante tamit am na yeneen tamit music yoo xam ne war naa wane na métiti Gambians yi advocate na pour Gambians yi lu gars yi di go through because of music dafa nekk lu important not only music spoken word tamit dafa nekk loo xam ne am na solo daf dee mun a inspire boo xam ne moom itam mun naa taxaw si boppam waaw Omar Champion Cham wane na ko because am na show boo xam ne was a big success so that tells you that the spoken word artists tamit they have a big part pour ñu naka la pour ñu yokk si creative sector bi so anybody ku si am interest mun ngeen a dem check article boobu noonu am na solo trop pour ñu gestu article boobu noonu léegi moom fu mu nekk nii dinañ dem si vidéo boobu noonu dinañ leen playal vidéo bi Lands Minister Honorable Amat Bah tey leen ko mit si benn the launching of the inauguration of the daycare madrasas tey si biir Banjul police line foofu leen nekkoon di leen yëgal ne there was an inauguration. I'm sorry, I'm going into Wolof and English, but I want people to be able to follow. Some people, don't follow the English too much. Some people can only listen to hear the local languages. So I'm going in and out. I just want to make sure that people have more aware of what is happening. But it's very important. I'll be trying to do it in both English and Wolof, at least so that the people can hear what's going on. Honorable Amat Bah, today, he was at the inauguration of a daycare madrasa at the Banjul police line. And this madrasa is being brought to Gambians by, that effort. So that office has worked with a philanthropist, and in that work which they've done, they've now made sure that this daycare is standing, and we were there, we had footages of it. So people can be able to go and see. This office has done a good job, we must say. They've done a good job. So they have inaugurated this it's a small building, which should serve as a daycare inside the Banjul police line. So it's inside the Banjul police line. So when the officers are ready to take care of their children and at the madrasa, serves as a daycare and also as a madrasa. So the philanthropy, I'm trying to get the name of the philanthropy here to make sure that people know who was doing that. 1 second. Okay. But the most important thing now, which we will definitely highlight, is the statement of Honorable Amat Bah and what he said. And this is a very, very important, very, very important, because of when I was talking to somebody about this statement, they told me is that the campaign has already started for 2026. Lands Minister Honorable Amat Bah says the strategic policy document on 200,000 houses within 10 years will be issued by April 2025, and the foundation stone will be laid by December 2025. Let's listen to Honorable Amat Bah. We're trying to get you the audio so that you can hear it. Just let's get this audio playing for you. Give us a second. We have an insert for you.
together in this journey. Whether under Adam Barrow or any other government, we want to maintain that in 10 years, at least 200,000 houses. Unfortunately, Gambia is a small country. Not only small, but it is the fifth most densely populated country in Africa. We have no land in this country. And unfortunately, the way land have been managed and used in the last 60 years is not the best ways of its kind. But that's why this government is conscious of the fact that we need to create and strengthen institutions of government, have policies and strategies in place, have methods and trained personnel to be able to manage our land henceforth in the future of this country. And in that regard, we are grateful to the World Bank for all the support they are giving this government in making sure that the first ever land policy will be rolled out by April 2025. And in that process, every Gambian is involved in that policy making. There is nobody who is left out, including the police. Everybody has a representative. They all come to participate. Because we want, at the end of the day, when we have a policy, it becomes a policy of the people that belongs to everyone. So government is open and everyone is on board. We are working on it. We hope to get there at least by April 2024. So we are grateful to all those who are supporting this government, including the World Bank.
Okay, that's one insert which we have for you. We do have another news insert which we'll be bringing on later. And we'll be publishing the video of Honorable Ahmad Ba's statement about the whole land policy and also the 200,000. Yes, we also would like to highlight that the Police Act is set to be reviewed by Gambian civil society organizations. Just last week, we published a video on Ask and We Gambia YouTube page, if you check us out on there, which highlights that the Police Act will be reviewed by Gambian civil society organizations. That's a very important update. And obviously, Jungler arrested by Gambia Armed Forces. We will also bring that for you to listen. But without further ado, since we are about to reach the half an hour mark, I will be calling Honorable Momodu Lamin B. Bah, who is set for a constituency dialogue tomorrow, which will talk to him about what his the purpose of having this constituency dialogue is. But most importantly, we'll be talking to him about the challenges that his constituency is facing and his advocacy in trying to ensure that he addresses the challenges that they are facing with regards to the rainy season right now in Banjul North. Let's try and get Honorable Modu Lamin Bah on the line so that we can definitely bring him on board so he can join this program. We did talk to him before, and he did give us the go-ahead that we would be able to get him on the radio, would call him and see how. Honorable Modu Lamin Bah, welcome to the show, Honorable.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Honorable. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much for accepting our request for an interview today ahead of your constituency engagement tomorrow, sir.
Sure.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I am good, Alhamdulillah. Just relaxing right now.
Indeed.
And trying to prepare myself to face my constituency tomorrow.
Indeed.
Convergence.
Fantastic. And before we jump into that, Honorable, I wanted to talk to you about the issue of, which is not a stranger to Banjul North, flooding. Every year, flooding is an issue. Last year, I visited your area and the Banjul Walks, and I think last year or year before, but it's something which I do regularly. And we've published about the, the works that were complete, some of them which were not complete, but now all the works are complete. What exactly is the situation right now? I know you were trying to make sure that the authorities the problem. What's the situation right now, Honorable?
Okay, thank you very much on that important question. As you know, 2 weeks ago, and if I say we, I mean the people of Banjul, and to be more specific, the people of Tobacco Road, started experiencing this flood again, which we did 2 years ago. And this time around is one of the components of the project that has to do with the sewage system. Understanding that the Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project here to bridge the city of Banjul, and it is also here to address three components in the city. That is, one, to rehabilitate the sewage system of the city, understanding that Banjul as a city, we have a sewage system as far as our sewage waste are concerned. Also to construct the drainage system of the city, and also to construct the roads in the city. But unfortunately, to us, as experienced 2 years ago, we suffered the flood flood, which even led families within Banjul not to be displaced. Because this was a very unfortunate moment. And when this time around we started realizing that the sewage started, there was malfunctioning of the sewage, that is, there was blockage within the sewage. The residents of Tobacco Road called my attention in some of their bedrooms, and all their toilets were filled with sewage. So this was something that was a very big concern for me, because as a representative of the people, I don't expect myself to live with my family comfortably whilst the people that elected me into office are suffering. So understanding also that we are not within a session, period of a session. So I decided to reach out to West Coast Radio, and they gave me that platform, that is the competent platform to talk about the issue. And when I spoke about it, I spoke about it because it is something that needed urgent, solution, because understanding that it was a problem, and we might even face a disease outbreak if nothing is done.
So sewage was going into people's houses and even in their toilets, overflowing in there. Is that the situation? Is it still, have they done anything about this terrible situation?
When I spoke on the radio, when I had the interview on Coffee Time, and the next day, the chief engineer of the Ministry of Works, the consultant of the Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project, and also the National Disaster Management Agency coordinator for Banjul, came to Banjul to the area. And when they came, they met me on the ground, me and the councillor of the ward, that is the councillor of Kapama ward. So we went round to all the affected compounds and also all the affected families. And this sewage was blocked. It wasn't working. And the most unfortunate part was, part of the Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project, there is a component, like I said, that has to do with the sewage. And the sewage component, the contractor supposed to buy a sewage truck for the project. So that currently, because in Banjul we have a sewage station whereby it's controlled by NAWEC. NAWEC will be using that truck to also help during the process of the implementation of the project. Then immediately when the project is completed, it will be officially handed to NAWEC, so that for sustainability purpose, it will be used for any issue that might happen in the future in the city of Banjul in terms of sewage, so that they can use it to empty the manholes and also clean them as stipulated according to the contract.
Yes.
But as we are talking right now, I am telling you that doesn't happen yet. And if you know this project was launched in 2019. And this is why I make emphasis in Parliament. We cannot go in for projects, specified timeline for that particular project. Because my expectation is in any contract, there must be a timeline.
Of course.
And a timeline should be fulfilled by the contractor, no matter what. But in this situation, I really don't know what is really happening as far as the ministry is concerned. And I always put it to government. Anybody who knows Honorable Modu Lamimba in Parliament will always know that I advocate about the Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project, understanding the amount of funds
that has
or
gone
taxpayers' money that has been used to implement this project.
Honorable, you are very familiar with this project.
Somebody like me will never want to see such a project to fail.
You're very familiar with this project because you were previously the spokesperson PRO for the Banjul City Council and one of the contact persons for this project. Am I mistaken?
I was there in the beginning. Even if I can still remember, what happened is when I was at the Banjul City Council as the IPRO, I was assigned by the City Council with the Director of Planning and Development of the City Council to be attending the project for this project by the Ministry of Works. But the most unfortunate part is I see no sustainability plan as far as this project is concerned. Most of the time, the ministers come to Parliament and start complaining about the dumping activities of waste in the drains. How can you construct a drain without covering the drain? And also, without providing, understanding that part of the contract, you're supposed to buy a compactor for the city. And this compactor will be used to clear all the waste. Then later on, after the end of the project, you hand it over to the City Council as part of your sustainability plan. But why is it that still all this equipment that is being catered for as far as this project is concerned, you cannot see a single equipment on the ground? And they are saying that this project is 98% implemented. Sometimes I wonder who is giving this president, that is the president of the Republic of the Gambia, this kind of update. Because I really don't understand. Now you can see, as far as the project is concerned, like I said, it also cater for the drainage system of the city of Banjul. As I am talking to you up to date, the main rig canal, which is the most important component of the project, is still not reconstructed. Now, when I asked the minister during this oral question and answer session in Parliament, this past second ordinary session, he said to me, the designs are ready and they will start, the third phase, he called it, for the project, which that component is part of. For me, I really can't understand.
So Honorable, if I can ask,
was a pre-finance. So even right now, I think it is also even important, and which I will also bring up to further ask the minister, how much is this project costing us right now? Because the thing is, I know the project it was costing us $37 million in 2019.
It was in the millions of dollars. Yes, it was in the millions of dollars. And now it seems, and that had already been paid. Now, if there are more works going on, it left to be. But the most important thing right now is that nothing has changed since, was it 1 or 2 weeks ago when this, became a major issue? Has anything changed? Have they?
Something has changed. Because day before yesterday, they brought the old sewage truck that they were using, and I will call it the old sewage truck that they are using as far as this project is concerned, which they also claim that it has a breakdown. They're supposed to fix it. They were able to bring it yesterday or day before yesterday. And guess what? Even when they came, when they started working, they said, still, that truck cannot empty the manhole. Can you imagine?
So they need
these are things that we are facing. Even though they have done something, because currently, I visited the affected compound yesterday. Most of them, I can say 97% of them said, yes, when you go to their toilets now, the sewage is...
But when it rains again.
But what I'm saying now is, as city dwellers, as far as this project is concerned, we don't want a temporal solution. We want a permanent solution. That is why
there are major projects.
The people of the Gambia, so that we see at least an impact as far as the project is concerned. Like the belief we have. The project is here to live the city of Banjul, and we want to see that happen. We don't want to be disappointed.
Of course.
We don't want to see our money being wasted as citizens of the country.
Of course. Of course. Honorable, if I can now...
These are the things that I will always push and advocate. And to be honest, Honorable Modu Lamimba will never relax as far as the implementation of this project is concerned. And also seeing that there is a concrete sustainability plan in terms of making sure that this project is a success as far as we are all concerned.
Thank you so much, Honorable. I wanted to ask you a question. Today has been some breaking news. We've heard that the draft constitution has been gazetted, and eventually it will come to Parliament. What's your initial thoughts about this move?
For me, I just see it as I am vindicated right now, because during the second ordinary session, I think it ended about 2 weeks ago, during the adjournment debate. I talk about it. I spoke about the draft constitution. I even made it clear the way the president stated it on his Suna speech, that is the State of the Nation address speech, that is the president not aware that such a process doesn't just happen like that? But now I am seeing they are putting effort to see to it that advocating about this draft constitution.
Yes.
This is when I came to Parliament 2 years ago.
And the president, not to interrupt you, but because of time, at the beginning of the year, in the president's New Year speech, he said there were 3 events which are important this year. Which one was the OIC, the Janjanbure Festival, and then the draft constitution referendum. And also when the president came, he spoke to you National Assembly members, and he mentioned about the draft constitution. But do you think that the draft constitution referendum will happen this year?
Never. It cannot happen. You saw that press release today. It's been gazetted now, and it will go for how many months? 3 months. And the required 10 days to be brought back to Parliament. So at the end of the day, we are in what? We are in August, and almost end of August. And our third ordinary session is starting by next month. Let's say the 9th of September and end by the 29th of September. So, and understanding that this year, the budget session will be 2 months because of the amendment.
The length, the increase.
Last year by a honorable member from Opatalo.
Yes.
In terms of the period of the
budget making process.
So you come to realize that we will say that it is something that we are encouraging, because when I saw the press release today, I said, wow, alhamdulillah. Meaning what I am saying is the good use of it. Because we all know that the draft constitution is the most anticipated document in this country as far as our transitional justice process is concerned. So this is not time to play with it. Like I always say, as government, as authorities, we are here for the people. And we should always understand one thing. I can be a National Assembly member, but I should also understand that I am the servant of the people.
Indeed.
And I should do what is right as far as my work and duties are concerned in terms of my mandate. But you know, in the Gambia, it's very, very disappointing that people that you see in offices like, working for government, they think they are as great as people, that doesn't even exist to me. So these are things that we need to change. And again, the issue of the technocrats and the intellectuals within the system. Sometimes, the way they do things is a clear manifestation of intellectual dishonesty. They will do things right and guide the entire process and make sure that it is done accordingly. But this is something that we are faced with as a nation, and I will keep on saying it. As Gambians, if we don't move away from using spoons to move mountains, this country is very far from development, and that is the truth.
Thank you. And tomorrow, Honorable, our last point which we want to raise with you is you will be having a constituency engagement at Banjul at the Makati Square Hall. Can you tell us what are you expecting? What should people expect? What time is it starting? When should it end? So that your constituents can attend and ask you questions and maybe perhaps even grill you, if I can put it that way.
For me, why I am doing this is part of the things that I said during my campaign. It's part of my manifesto. Part of my manifesto, item 4, talks about all-inclusiveness approach. And this all-inclusiveness approach is all about consulting my people. Because when I campaigned, I said to my people, I am here to introduce a better representation. And in other words, to address the needs and the concerns of my people. And I can only do that by consulting them. And these are things that I have been doing, and I thank God that activists of the Gambia through NET was able to see that somebody like me as a representative reaching out to my constituency, constantly reaching out to my constituency, and also helping me to do very good submissions in Parliament, decided to come and collaborate with me so that we can have a constituency dialogue, which is indeed very important. As a lawmaker, it is my mandate to go back to my people, like I said, as part of our better representation initiative, and also as part of our inclusive approach, to talk to the people that we represent, and also for them to talk to us. Because I believe I cannot do well in Parliament, do extremely well, because they are the ones I represent in Parliament. So in that regard, we are having this constituency dialogue tomorrow at the Makati Square at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
So that we will be able to discuss, share ideas, have discussion whereby, it will be mutual. Because this is what is expected of me as a representative. I must talk to my people. I must reach out to my people. And I must also consider whatever they give me to take back to Parliament as part of their concerns and their needs, and to be addressed by Parliament. Because understanding that Parliament is the solution house. So whatever concern they raise as my people that I represent will be things that I will take to Parliament and make sure that I articulate myself to a very great solution, and at the end of the day, urge Parliament to address the needs and the concerns of the people that we represent. So this is my expectation as far as the entire process is concerned, and I will also urge other members to follow up. I believe activists of the Gambia will also engage other members, but let them be more open. Currently, we know we are on recess, we are on holidays, but why should I be on recess, enjoy myself, when the needs and the concerns of my people are not addressed? That is not who I am. So that is why I seize the opportunity to reach out to my people, to talk to them, to know exactly what is going on with them, so that I will also tell them what I am doing in Parliament. At the end of the day, we have a very good resolution or recommendation, and I will take it as a tool, as a weapon that I will use in Parliament as far as my advocacy is concerned, as far as addressing the needs and the concerns of my people is concerned.
Thank you very much, Honorable. We really, really appreciate you talking to us today. We're running out of time. But tomorrow, the Gambian people will have more chance to talk to your National Assembly member. And the only place you can do that is at Makati Square from 10 o'clock to 1 p.m. Yes, you are all urged to invited to attend. I will be there.
We need to talk. Come look at all of the ideas over here. We must have that tete-a-tete conversation.
Tete-a-tete.
Yeah, tete-a-tete conversation.
Jerejef, thank you so much for allowing us to talk to you, Honorable, today.
Thank you also for giving me the opportunity to be on your platform to talk about all these important issues that is all geared towards making sure that we have a better Gambia that we all want.
Thank you so much. And North, you all heard him there. We talked about a lot of different issues, the draft constitution, the challenges that is affecting Banjul North. The people of Banjul North flooding be Yagana do tay Yagana the problem with flooding Yagana. So lolu nekut the only thing. Wax neen mbiri draft constitution kon mu ko waxe obviously tamit wax neen issue of ne ëllëg la moo am constituency engagement pour Gambians yi ñu fa nekk especially electorate yi mun nañu constituency am yi mun faa dem teew foofu noonu waxtaana moom tête à tête dégg ngeen ko mu ne tête à tête so am neen benn we have a very very important news all of us anybody listening to this program this is the Straigh Talk Show live on West Coast Radio 95.3 FM, and we are streaming on Askan We Gambia YouTube page, Straigh Talk Show, the show for you, the people. Straight talk is all we talk here on this program. Last week we were talking about the junglers. We were talking about one jungler, Michael Correa, and today we will talk about another jungler. We have an insert from QTV, which we really must play, that gives you all the information you need. And I think people need to listen to this. Let's hear this.
A press release by the Gambia Armed Forces about the
QTV.
arrest of an alleged member of the junglers who went AWOL after the departure of former President Yahya Jammeh. QTV's Rohi Samba engaged Colonel Lamin K. Sanyang, the public relations officer of the Gambia Armed Forces, to shed light on the ex-general's arrest. Here is an excerpt.
On Friday, the 9th of August 2024, the Gambia Armed Forces had information about the presence in this country of ex-Brigadier General Bora Koli, who was a former senior officer of the Gambia Armed Forces and a member of the junglers, who had left this country in January 2017 after the departure of former President Yahya Jammeh. And acting on this information, the Gambia Armed Forces intelligence operatives mounted a surveillance around his residence within the Greater Banjul area. However, before midnight on Friday, ex-General Bora Koli surrendered himself at the military police post in Yundum Barracks. And since his surrender, an arrest was effected on him and was placed under the custody of the military police. Yesterday, the matter was forwarded to the higher authority, and instructions or directives have been given for the constitution of a joint investigation panel, the Gambia Police Force and other security agencies, and also including officials from the Ministry of Justice. As we speak, also some immediate measures were taken by the Armed Forces High Command. First, we subjected the general to a medical checkup to ascertain his state of well-being and health condition before we proceed. So that has been conducted, and the general has been found to be stable and also not needing any admission for now. We want to assure the general public that the general's human rights
Gambia YouTube page make a new media house bu nekk di sampa bu nekk di startup mun ngeen ko dem check out am neen social media suñu website bi dina war a génn nit yi la yéen ay askan wi dafa nekk plateforme bu ees boo xamee ne dañ leen bëgg a jox news naka leen seen métit yoo leen nekk di gis loolu leen bëgg a génnee si plateforme bu ees bi programme bi nag fu mu nekk nii recap of the topics that we covered. Constitution, we were talking about that. The government has gazetted it and it's set for National Assembly eventually. Senegal, Gambia, ministers, officials, high-level discussion to bring an end to the cross-border trade disputes. Also, in today's program, we spoke about, highlighted about, you can go and you can follow that. Lands Minister says strategic policy document on 200,000 houses within 10 years to be issued by April 2025 and foundation stone to be laid by December 2025. We played an insert. We didn't play the full insert, but we played a partial insert. Jungler arrested Lululen Laswa. But of course, today's program, we spoke to Honorable Mumudu Lamin B. Bah, who is set for constituency dialogue to and get him to represent them. I'm your host, Yusuf Taylor, alias Flexdan, for Ashkanwe Media, the brand new media house, which we are bringing out to you. And we are live here on this West Coast Radio, 95.3 FM on the Straigh Talk Show. And that's all we have for you today. Thank you, everybody who has been listening. And